Good morning, guys. Welcome to your second week of online instruction. I know that this is a little bit hard, but I'm going to walk you through how to do these problems, and then I'm going to walk you through how to put them in on Google Classroom. Now, I don't think the math is hard. I do think it's hard when you guys aren't here and I'm not there and I'm not able to help you with your hands-on questions. So make sure that you've taken that online poll in Google Classroom. That's going to help me know when to be available for live help with you guys so that you can you can have a video call with me and I can help you and we can just make sure everybody's getting the help they need. First thing you're going to need is you're going to need a calculator. Now, if you don't have a calculator at home, which most of you won't, that's okay. There is you can download this software off the TI website for free. Now I can help you with that. There's a tutorial online that's step by step and it shows you how to do it. And I'll also try to put together a video tutorial for you this afternoon. Okay, so whenever we're factoring a polynomial. So this is going to be menu 3, 3, 2. So I'm going to go into my regular calculator. I'm going to say menu 332. I'm going to put in my equation. And I just always use x. You can use the letter, I don't care. Comma x, press enter. I'm going to write it down. So I have -6 and 2 over 3. I highly recommend either printing this out if you have a printer. If you don't have a printer, just use some paper and write it down so you can have your work written down for you. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to just set up our parentheses and we're going to remember to bring this 3 out front. Whatever your lead coefficient is comes in front. Then we're going to take our letter and it goes in front. And we flip the signs. So instead of a minus, it's plus. Instead of a plus, it's a minus. We're almost done. We've got 2 more things. Since it's a fraction, this is going to be up in front. And it's going to come under this one. Now we just reduce. 3 divided by 3 is 1. This just comes down. This is going to be 3n minus 2. Same idea on this one. Pretty simple. I can go ahead and set it up. I know the 5 is going to come in front. And I'm going to have a p on both of those. Then again, I'm going to go menu 332. It's going to be 5 plus 2 minus 3, comma, x. Then we're going to flip the sign, so instead of a minus, it's going to be a plus. Instead of a plus, it's going to be a minus. This one stays the same because it doesn't have a fraction. We do 2 things with this denominator. We bring it up in front to be a coefficient, and we divide this lead coefficient by it. 5 divided by 5 is 1. And that is my answer. Now these ones, we're needing some practice on. Remember, we're focusing on skills that are going to help you do well when you go to your home campus, and you have to be able to do a lot of these skills pretty quickly. These are just the first steps on most problems when you get to Algebra 2 or into trigonometry or into that upper level math. So the first thing we're going to do is I want to get the variable alone. Since there's only one variable, I'm going to move everything else to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 8. I'm subtracting 8 because it's the opposite of addition. It's not focusing very well. I've got these canceled out. My x squared comes down. 12 take away 8 is 4. And now this part is where we use our square root. So what we're doing right here is we have x squared equals 4. To get rid of that square, I'm going to add a square root to both sides. And when I add the square root, I also have to have a plus or a minus. So this is pretty simple. Sorry, not x squared anymore. These cancel out. It's just going to be x equals, and then the square root of 4, I've got 2 times 2, so it's plus or minus 2. If you don't remember how to do this part, it's menu, I think it's 2, 3, let's check. Menu 2, 3, yeah, factor, and then I would put in 4. I think you can see that a little bit better. And that's it for this one. Again, I want to get the variable by itself, so I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. We've got m squared is equal to 10. To get rid of that square, we take the square root on both sides. If I'm adding the square root, I put a plus or minus. These cancel out, I have m. Now, I don't know if this is going to reduce. Let's use menu 2, 3. Menu 2, 3, put in 10. Well, 10 is 2 and 5. None of those numbers are the same, so I won't be able to get a group and take them out. So if you want me to show you what I mean, there's no group of 2, so I can't circle it, so I'm pretty much just stuck with this. So it's just plus or minus the square root of 10. Okay, so remember domain and range. So domain and range, remember domain is going to be your x values. So I already know that this is going to be x, and I know that this is going to be y. So if you look, can you see those arrows? Those arrows are telling me it's going to keep going up and keep going out because it's getting, from the center, it's getting wider as it goes out. So x is going to be all real numbers. Y, the lowest y can be is 6. So y is less than or equal, greater than or equal to 6. Axis of symmetry. This is the line where you can cut it in half, right there. That's at 2. So it's going to be x equals 2. Zeros are where it's touching the x-axis. It's not touching it, so you're going to say none. Your y-intercept is just right here at 10. And then you need to be able to circle max or min value. In this case, it's a minimum because it's the bottom of your parabola. And the value is y equals 6. That's it. So again, domain is going to be all real numbers. My range is going to be y is less than or equal to. My axis of symmetry is going to be x is equal to. And I know that my value is always going to be a y equals. That's pretty simple. It's a max. Now let's go through and fill in the specifics. So range, you're just looking for the top or the bottom. Right there's the very top. If I go over, we're at 8, 9, 10, so it's right in between. It's at 9. So y is smaller than 9. My axis of symmetry, we're going to take this and go straight down. We're touching at -1. Zeros, we're looking for where it's touching the y-axis. We have -4, 2. You do not want to put these in parentheses. If you put it in parentheses, it would be -4, 0, and then 2, 0. I think it's just easier to do this. Your y-intercept is just going to be 8. And that's it for how you solve them. Now we need, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot this one. Our max value is at 9. Your range and your max or min are always going to be the same numbers, but the range will have your inequality and your max or min value will be an equal to. That's it for how we solve them. Now we need to look how to put them in the Google Sheet.